80-20-365, a time management system to help you achieve your goals and dreams in 2021 and beyond. We all have the same amount of time. Our results depend where we invest it. Welcome to Living Your Life Well Planned, the 80-20-365 success system invented by my partner, my pal here, Adam Vincent Gilmer. We've spent years together, and I've watched this plan develop from day one, and it's really fantastic. I'm Gene Velitis. I'm your host, where at the beginning of every podcast, I remind you to order your daily planner. Now, if you haven't, you've heard this speech before. It's okay, but you know how important it is to get this. It's about $1 a day. I'm not sure what your currency is where you happen to be listening to, but it's a small price to pay to plan out your life. You only get one, so you want to make it planned out properly so you can live a life of abundance and happiness. And there's nothing wrong with living a life of abundance. In fact, if you got too much, give it away. You don't have to just sponsor a child, build a hospital somewhere with all of that money coming in. It's all about perspective. So we're doing 4 quick episodes here on leadership, 53, 54. We're at 55 coming up here right now. So Adam, today what we want to talk about is getting into the habit of, and you may have to define this, getting into the habit of strategic thinking instead of just going along with the crowd. And before you start, I'll give everybody listening a great example. So COVID-19 comes along, everybody gets locked down, and what do people do? Well, they sit in their basements and they watch Netflix and they complain about the variety of this, and they eat too much junk food and they stop exercising and they get fat, and all they do is complain. Now, when COVID-19 came along, one of your other companies, you put strategic thinking into what was needed on the planet Earth, and your company took off, and you were busier than I've ever seen you since we were introduced and I got to know you. Other people were complaining. Myself, I created another company myself, and I even came up with a term about what was happening during this whole pandemic, and I called them pandemifits, benefits,
Right.
So let's talk about strategic thinking. I've never seen you so busy where other people were just sitting on their rear ends.
Well, you have to look at what the market is going to show you, and it became obvious that everybody's going to need, masks and hand sanitizer and gloves and other protective equipment, and that's what it led into. And then once again, though, everything in life runs its course in the market share, and like as we look at COVID now today, it's a little different. Right. I mean, I know California is supposed to be opening up in 2 days. Other places are, oh, hey, there's no more mask restrictions. I mean, the CDC keeps putting out, I don't know what to believe anymore.
Yeah. And it's different in all the other countries that are listening to
Yeah.
us as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, you just have to look at things from that perspective. And hey, can I take advantage of an opportunity? And you do. And this is what entrepreneurs do. You look at market trends or shares or things that are happening, stories that are happening, and you're like, hey, where can we take advantage of this to help serve the many? And that's the whole trick, is having a product or a service that you can help service the many, create value with, and at the same time get paid for the distribution of it. And that's the business.
Yeah. But I guess what I need to know, and what some listeners need to know, is how do you get into the habit of strategic thinking as opposed to being what I call them sheeple, where, you hear everybody complaining, oh, I guess I'll complain to go along with everybody else. Because, here's what I always find interesting, and we'll be getting back to this, worldwide soon. When you come out of a concert and you have a really, really great time, and everybody in the crowd is heading towards their car or public transportation, there's always that one person going in the opposite direction through the crowd. And I always say, who is this person and why are they going in the opposite direction? So how do you get your mindset into strategic thinking so you're not being a sheeple?
It's very, the answer is, you've got to, first of all, it's got to be part of your development skills, to say that you want to take in some specialized knowledge information to the brain. after spirituality comes brain. So if you want to have a healthy brain, you got to take in knowledge. So I go on, for me, it's like taking information in from like, YouTube or podcasts or other things that we're doing. It's taking in the information, listening. You can always listen to music, or you can find a decent educational mind piece. Say, hey, listen, let me look at this. And see if it works for you. And if it works for you, adopt it and make it your own. And if it doesn't work for you, great, keep looking.
Yeah.
I think that's the secret. Keep seeking.
Do you think people stop studying and learning after they leave school? I mean, I read and study all the time. It's a part of my daily habit because I just want to learn more and I want to be a better person and help out people around me. But do you find that people just kind of they stop studying, they stop learning?
Yeah. What happens, Gene? Everybody's got this little thermostat built into their brain, right? And as they go through life, there's two things that are happening. One is, we say, hey, we want to go get a good job or have a business or, do something. And then the other side of life, it's pounding down in our heads, telling us, the sky's the limit, all these other limiting beliefs that you hear along on your journey. And, we talked about the language side of it, and the other side of it is putting it into practice and doing it. So you got to look at all this information that's coming at you with your goals and dreams and say, what are the limiting beliefs that you have and where do those come from? Then you have the opportunity to change that, which is like, wow. And you start living your best life. And then there's people that say, how did you do it? And I'm like, just start doing it. Just do it. Just get at it every single day. Just do it. Mm-hmm. And, one little, that's how Rome got built. It wasn't built overnight. Right?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Here's another interesting thing about going with the sheeple and strategic thinking to change around your life and your business and your personal economy and things like that. We often hear people say, well, we can't afford that, so we're going to have to cut back. My question to you is, why don't people say, if we can't afford that, we're just going to make more money?
Well, that's an interesting scenario because, I've had to deal with stuff like this before, right? So, I look at it, people either want to, change something, this or the other. They don't understand the impact that it's going to have in people's lives and organizations. But at the end of the day, I also believe in capitalism, right? And I think, families around the world are always rising and falling depending on the opportunities and what have you that they get into, or the returns that they get. So you have to look at it and go, some people are going to fail, some people are going to win, but the people we want to spend our time kind of not only working with, the people who say, hey, listen, I want to get on the same page, or strategically think that they're surrounding themselves with people that are on the same mission that they are, because now you've got like-minded thinking, and with that, great things can take place in any sales organization, government, or whatever. Strategic thinking alignment makes a big difference.
Yeah, but we've talked about the dream pirates in the past as well. But as you get into strategic thinking and you start to change, a lot of your friends who refuse to ever consider changing anything that they do in their life, they're going to say to you, "Oh, you better watch out. Oh, you're joining one of those companies. Oh, you shouldn't be doing this. Oh, you shouldn't be doing that." So, I know we've dealt with dream pirates, but maybe one more time, because I believe it's a worthy subject. As you get into that mode and as you start to stretch and grow and take a different direction, and suddenly your friends don't want you to change or move away, but you are. How do you deal with that?
Well, I think that's several things. First of all, your real friends you'll know them, spend time with them, and they're really your friends because they show up, good, bad, ugly, and different, right? And then you have the other people that are it's just about the connection or success or what have you. And some people don't want to do the work that it takes to get there, and then the other people just want to be like hanger-ons, right? There's I just grab the coattails of something, versus being that person that goes out and makes people want to grab your coattails, or or hang on because you're going on an incredible ride. And you find out the difference between friends, associates, and the 5 or 6 pallbearers that you're going to have in life. That's how you find out.
Yeah. Yeah. So would you recommend that it's important to, I mean, I hope what we're doing here is mentoring people. So if
Right.
you don't, if you don't have a personal mentor, use this series and these
Yeah.
podcasts and everything available to be your mentor. But how important is it, or was it for you to get a personal mentor in your life? I mean, for me, it was life changing. And the guy's name was Bob Proctor, and the other person was Jim Rohn.
Yeah. I mean, then likewise, Jim Rohn and 7, 10, 15 others, okay, of which I have tons and tons of books, not only behind me, but also in another room. And there's a reason for that, because, they thought enough of saying, this is what's worked. Let me write it down. Imagine that. Okay. Like, personal journals turn into books, right? And this is the stuff that's worked for them. This is the thinking that they had. And if you get yourself around that personal development side of things, great things take place in your life. You learn to handle the setbacks better, and you also learn to handle the successes better. And this is what life's about. If it was, by the way, Gene, we always say this, but if it was easy, everybody would do it. Well, you know what everybody's really doing? Everybody really has a plan, but the plan is not to plan. Okay, the majority. Okay, and the people who are planning to make things happen.
Yeah.
I mean, do you think Jeff Bezos jumps up in the morning and goes, gee whiz, let me think, I wonder what's going to happen today? No. It's like, it's organized, it's planned. Meetings, stuff happening.
Yeah. Well, on these podcasts, Adam, we've always said if you don't have a goal, you'll achieve that as well.
That's cool. That's the goal.
Yeah. So you need to make a decision, not a wish decision. Stick to the plan. And the way to stick to the plan is getting the daily planner, filling it out, looking at it in the morning, your purpose statement, scoring your end of the day. It's just, we're not reinventing the wheel here. We're just taking the collective knowledge that we've accumulated over the years and passing it along to you. And I know that there are people listening to this podcast who will take this knowledge, pass it on to their team. And you know what? Adam and I like to be of service to people. That's leadership.
Correct.
All right. Rapid fire leadership. We did it in podcast 53, the last one. This one, we're coming up to our last bang, bang, bang leadership quick podcast. It'll be 56, and this is an important one for people in a leadership role, rather. It's managing unexpected change or crisis, because it's going to happen one way or another. I mean, if you're walking down the street, you don't have an umbrella and it starts raining, that's a little crisis. Well, it could be a big crisis for your business. So we're going to talk about what leaders do that other people don't. Get your daily planner, check out the podcast, go back to day one, review, fill out your daily planner. And it doesn't matter what country that you happen to be listening us to or watching us on the podcast site, we can get the daily planner to you. Just go to the website and we'll figure it all out. So on behalf of Adam Vincent Kilmer, I'm Gene Velitis. This is Living Your Life Well Planned. We'll see you right around the corner with episode 56. 80-20-365, a time management system to help you achieve your goals and dreams in 2021 and beyond. We all have the same amount of time. Our results depend where we invest it. 80-20-365, living your life well planned.